Hello, my name is Christina Franson, and I am the curator at the Museum of Idaho. And I would like to tell you a little bit about our research sort of initiatives and the collections that we have and what we're trying to do with them and what our kind of goals are with those. So the one I talk about the most is probably the Wasden Archaeological Collection. We're the home for that. It has over 80,000 artifacts and faunal remains in it. And that was recovered off of the desert just outside of town a little bit, out of a series of lava tube caves, but out of only half of one of them. And it's one of the most deeply stratified sites on the eastern Snake River Plain, and it spans from like 13,000 years ago with a mammoth at the very bottom up until like maybe a few hundred years ago. So it's a really, really good snapshot of everybody who was living and moving around on the eastern Snake River Plain thousands of years ago and up until recently. So what we want to do with that collection over in our research annex is make sure that all of those materials are cataloged correctly, housed correctly, and made accessible for research. And we have a good start on that, but we want to continue to expand on all of the projects that are currently happening and make sure that all of the research that does come out of that makes it out into the public. Like all of the, I guess, conclusions that they find, they get published and made available. So we want to make sure that those things happen. And also, once we know what we have in our collection and it has been thoroughly researched, we want to make sure that we can maybe continue to grow the collection. So that would require a little bit more space and maybe a little bit more funding. So that's kind of far in the future, but it's on our radar. Another thing that we do at the museum is try to make sure that the resources we have in-house in our archives and in our storage areas are also available for research, because what is the point of having a museum if if the people can't know what's in there, So we want to make sure that all of that is available as well. And the way that we try to do that is we accept research inquiries to the archives. People can email us with their questions, and I will try to answer them. And if I can't answer them, then I have some amazing volunteers that help me out as archivists. They also help me scan our photograph collections. So we have a lot of photos, a lot of newspaper articles, a lot of books and maps and various catalogs from various donors. And all of that we want to make available in some way. And so there are different scanning projects that are happening, and one of my volunteers is trying to make sure that all of the photos right now are scanned, and then we can make it available through our website on a Past Perfect portal. So that way it's available to the public. Then as far as physical objects go, you can submit a research inquiry as well. And then depending on what it is, if we have it or if it's stable enough to be handled, maybe we can have an appointment and you can come in and look at it and conduct some research that way. And then besides that, we are trying to increase diversity and representation in our collections as well. And one of the ways that we're doing that is working with a local college student to do an oral history project. And all of the oral histories that she's collecting with her project, they're going to end up coming to the archives and be transcribed and also made available to the public that way as well. So all of our research initiatives are funded by donors and sponsors and grantors, because we're a 501c3 nonprofit and we don't get any regular federal funding. So all of those things are made possible by people who are just as passionate about history as the rest of us are. So thank you very much.